Morning, guys. I'd like to introduce you to my Wednesday coffee mug. Hold on. Let me make sure I do this without spilling everything on my computer. How real is that? A yawn is a silent scream for coffee. Truer words were never spoken. I'm just going to put that right there. Hope you get a day so far. I'm going to try to keep this short, the famous last words, and then I talk for like 15 minutes. So I apologize, but I just get into it. I like talking to you, seeing you, the whole thing. Just want to point out a couple quick things today because we did cover a story that I've really been watching, but has been very difficult to try to condense. And one of my colleagues did such a great job with it. We looked at what's happening in the Dominican Republic because we've seen all these different reports. Little footsteps grabbing a strawberry behind me. All these reports of Americans getting sick or even dying, and just wanted to get a handle on what's going on because right now there's no clear connection that any of these cases are linked, although there's been 3 recent deaths in the same resort, and that's why it sort of picked up media attention in the last several weeks. So you should know that when you're looking at our card stack today, we looked back over the last year to look at deaths of Americans in the Dominican Republic. What's going on? Is there a pattern of behavior? We didn't have a ton to hang our hat on, but it just sort of gives you an overview of what's going on. Some good perspective is that, there's millions and millions of people that travel to the Dominican Republic every year. About 1 out of 3 of them are Americans. So that's more than 1 million Americans go to the Dominican Republic every year. And the statistics of those that have been getting ill or dying have been in the dozens. So we're not saying that it's not insignificant, especially if you go on a trip seemingly healthy and something happens, and clearly that's devastating. But it's just difficult to see what sort of patterns are emerging. So I just wanted you to check that out. It's definitely in the news. And then you had David Ortiz, the Red Sox famous all-star, who gets shot in his home country, the Dominican Republic. So there's been a lot of news around that country. So we just wanted to point that out to you so you know what's happening. Yes?
I fell down.
Are you okay?
Look at my knee.
Your little knee. You gonna make it? You gonna make it? Okay. A little Bobo. All right. Little Bobo. Okay, give me 2 minutes, okay? Okay. She's like, and if you're talking about people getting hurt, she wants to make sure that you know what's going on with her life too, which I appreciate. She's been kind of a handful recently. The three teenager sort of stuff is real. Okay, so that's what's going on in the Dominican Republic. Second thing I want you to know is that we're in election season. Things are really picking up. I did cover what the president said last night. He gave a big rally in Miami. I can't cover every single opening statement of every single candidate. We've been doing our best that we can. There's about 23 people running for the Democrat nomination for president. I think what's more important than what the president said last night or what any of these potential or these candidates are saying is the location that these major parties are choosing to highlight their campaigns. President Trump spoke last night in Florida. The first Democrat national debate is happening next week in Florida. Why are they in Florida? Because Florida was a very, very close state in the 2016 presidential election. It was separated by 2 percentage points where President Trump won and Hillary Clinton lost. So we should really kind of focus on where are these parties strategically placing their candidates? Why are they doing that? President Trump has a little bit of an advantage that every incumbent has, that he doesn't have to go to these states to try to win the party's nomination. He does have a challenger to the Republican nomination, but it's not, the likelihood that he doesn't become the candidate is low, just historically speaking. So Florida is key. You're going to see a lot of stuff happening in Florida. That's the reason why it's not just the sunshine and the good beaches. It's because it's an important swing state. The second Democrat debate is in Michigan. That's another state that was very, very close. So these parties are zeroing in on just the few states that could determine the election. Also very important for you to know. All right, those are really the key things I think that you should kind of know for today. Last thing is the Secretary of Defense resigned. He's going to be officially leaving his post as of Sunday. He's the acting Secretary of Defense. Hi. Through the nomination process, you have to talk a lot about your family, and his family went through a really contentious, terrible divorce some domestic violence charges actually charged against his wife. Those were dropped, but it sounds like a very horrible situation, and he decided that he wasn't going to proceed with the nomination. This is the longest time in American history that we haven't had a permanent Secretary of Defense. What's the effect on our military? I think that can be debated. And actually, my husband left early this morning. I wanted to ask him about that, what he thought about it, because it's a leadership role that's very important. The leader of the largest military in the world, right? Arguably the most powerful military in the world. We've had an acting Secretary of Defense for the last several months. So that's a position to watch to see what's going to happen next. All right, guys. One quick final thing. A 10-year-old climbed El Capitan with her dad. Legit, right? Climbed the nose of El Capitan. And I love her quote today on the website, so check it out, because it's just about taking things step by step, which I think we can all use a little reminder about, even if it's from a 10-year-old, because they're very wise. All right, I'm going to go check out what's going on with the narwhal, the bobo, and the strawberries being eaten on the counter, because I'm not sure they've stayed there. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.